Episode 17. The Scepter's secrets days turned into weeks as Alex and Isabella delved deeper into the mysteries of the Scepter. Anya's offer hung over them like a storm cloud, a constant reminder of the outside world's potential exploitation. Their initial frustrations with the Scepter remained. Discharges still sparked unexpectedly, and the energy output continued to fluctuate wildly. Isabella, ever the pragmatist, focused on reverse engineering the Scepter's core, meticulously mapping the intricate energy pathways. Alex, however, took a more intuitive approach. He spent hours meditating with the Scepter, trying to understand its voice, the subtle hum that resonated within the crystal. Their approaches, though different, started to yield results. Isabella discovered a series of stabilizing runes etched onto the core. Worn and faded with time, these runes appeared to be the key to regulating the energy flow. Alex, through his meditations, felt a faint resistance within the crystal, as if the Scepter itself was pushing back against forced activation. One evening, fueled by a shared pot of coffee and a surge of determination, they combined their findings. Isabella, with a newfound appreciation for Alex's intuition, meticulously reinscribed the faded runes. Alex, guided by his meditations, held the Scepter, focusing on calming the internal resistance. A tense silence filled the workshop as they activated the Scepter. This time, there were no sparks, no explosions. Just a steady, low hum and a gentle glow emanating from the crystal. The Scepter was working. Relief washed over them, followed by a surge of cautious optimism. They had taken a crucial step, proving the Scepter's potential for controlled energy production. However, their work was far from over. They needed to replicate this success consistently and refine the energy output to make it truly practical. Meanwhile, the threat of Anya Petrova loomed large. Isabella's investigation had revealed Anya's true purpose, not clean energy, but a militarized application of Scepter technology. Anya sought to weaponize the Scepter's unpredictable energy bursts, creating a devastating new kind of weapon. Armed with this knowledge, they knew they couldn't keep their success a secret for long. Anya would be back, and they needed to be prepared. Deciding it was time to go on the offensive, they formulated a plan to expose Anya's true motives before she could exploit their technology. The episode ends with a renewed sense of purpose and a ticking clock. Alex and Isabella have a working Scepter and a dangerous secret to expose. Can they stay ahead of Anya and protect their creation, or will their technology be twisted into a weapon? Episode 18. Unveiling the wolf in sheep's clothing, fueled by a potent mix of triumph and trepidation, Alex and Isabella channeled their energy into refining the Scepter. Days bled into nights as they tweaked the runes, calibrated the output, and documented their progress. Each successful activation, each stable energy flow, solidified their confidence and fueled their resolve. Meanwhile, they couldn't ignore the elephant in the room, Anya Petrova. They knew she wouldn't stay silent for long. Isabella, ever the strategist, devised a plan to expose Anya's true intentions before she could return. Their strategy hinged on a calculated leak. Isabella, utilizing her network of contacts in the scientific community, anonymously submitted a redacted report detailing the Scepter's potential for clean energy production. The report, however, carefully omitted the weaponized capabilities Anya sought. The scientific community erupted. News outlets buzzed with excitement, hailing the Scepter as a potential solution to the global energy crisis. Amidst the frenzy, Anya predictably resurfaced, this time with an even more lucrative offer, urgency laced in her voice. "This media attention is fantastic," Anya purred, her smile wider than ever, "but imagine the impact if we could perfect this technology for mass production. Petrova Industries is prepared to offer you a blank check, complete creative control. Isabella, mirroring Anya's unwavering gaze, countered, "Thank you for your renewed interest, Ms. Petrova. However, we've decided to pursue a different path, focusing on clean energy applications." Anya's smile faltered for a fleeting moment, a flicker of frustration betraying her carefully constructed facade. "Clean energy is an admirable goal, Ms. Santos, but let's be honest, the world craves more immediate solutions. And some solutions," Alex interjected, his voice firm, "come at a cost we're not willing to pay." The room hung heavy with unspoken accusations. Anya, sensing a shift in power, resorted to veiled threats. Think carefully, she hissed. The world needs this technology. And someone, somewhere, will be willing to harness its true potential. With that, Anya swept out of the workshop, leaving behind a chilling reminder of the stakes involved. The episode ends with a sense of precarious victory. Alex and Isabella have exposed Anya's true motives, but the fight is far from over. Powerful forces are circling the scepter, and they need to find a way to ensure their creation remains a beacon of hope, not an instrument of destruction. Episode 19, Alliances and Ambush. The threat of Anya Petrova loomed large, a storm cloud gathering on the horizon. Yet, a sliver of hope shone through, a response to Isabella's anonymous report. A prestigious research institute, renowned for its commitment to ethical technology development, expressed interest in collaborating on the Scepter project. Relief washed over Alex and Isabella. This partnership offered not just resources and expertise, but potentially a powerful ally in the fight against the weaponization of their technology. Traveling to the institute, a sprawling complex nestled amidst rolling green hills, they were greeted by Dr. Evelyn Walsh, a brilliant scientist with a warm smile and a twinkle in her eye. Dr. Walsh, upon witnessing the Scepter's controlled activation, was as intrigued as she was impressed. She envisioned a future where the Scepter's clean energy could power entire cities, a future diametrically opposed to Anya Petrova's destructive vision. A collaboration was quickly formed. Dr. Walsh's team, with their state-of-the-art facilities and expertise in advanced energy manipulation, would accelerate the refinement process. Isabella, with her meticulous mind, would oversee the integration of safety protocols. Alex, with his intuitive understanding of the Scepter, would act as a bridge between the technology and the scientists. Days turned into weeks as they worked tirelessly, fueled by shared purpose and a growing sense of camaraderie. However, their progress was abruptly halted by a chilling discovery. Anya Petrova, it seemed, wasn't above playing dirty. One morning, the Institute's security systems blared, red lights strobing ominously. Intruders had breached the facility, targeting the Scepter research labs. A fierce firefight erupted, shattering the once peaceful atmosphere. The episode ends on a cliffhanger. Alex and Isabella, caught in the crossfire, fight alongside Dr. Walsh and her security team to protect their research. Who are the attackers? Are they working for Anya, or is there another player on the board? One thing is clear, the battle for control of the Scepter has escalated, and the stakes have never been higher. One by one, the intruders fell, overwhelmed by the combined force of researchers and Alex's newfound control over the Scepter. The last attacker, cornered and desperate, triggered a smoke grenade, shrouding the lab in a thick, white haze. When the smoke cleared, the attackers were gone, vanished into the labyrinthine corridors of the research facility. Silence descended, broken only by the ragged breaths of the shaken scientists. The aftermath was a scene of destruction. Equipment lay broken, sparks dancing ominously from exposed wires. Despite the chaos, a sense of grim triumph hung in the air. They had repelled the attack, but at a cost. As they surveyed the damage, a chilling realization dawned on them. The attackers hadn't come solely to steal the Scepter. They had also managed to snatch a vital data chip containing Dr. Walsh's most recent research on the Scepter's energy manipulation capabilities. Anya Petrova had failed to capture the Scepter, but she now possessed crucial knowledge. Alex, Isabella, and Dr. Walsh were forced to confront a new reality. The fight for control of the Scepter had become a desperate race against time. They needed to perfect the technology and expose Anya before she weaponized their creation and plunged the world into chaos. Episode 21, Desperate Measures. The weight of the stolen data chip hung heavy on the team. Knowing Anya Petrova held the key to weaponizing the Scepter, a renewed sense of urgency gripped them. Dr. Walsh, her usual calm demeanor shaken, rallied her team around a single, desperate goal: accelerate the Scepter's development by any means necessary. Isabella, ever the pragmatist, voiced her concerns. Rushing the process could have disastrous consequences. We need to be sure it's stable before unleashing its full potential. Dr. Walsh, however, countered, Anya won't have such qualms. Every day we delay is a day closer to a catastrophe. We need to take calculated risks. The ethical dilemma fractured the team. Dr. Walsh, driven by a fear of Anya's potential, advocated for pushing the boundaries. Alex, torn between safety and efficiency, grappled with his conscience. Isabella remained the voice of caution, urging a measured approach. Despite their internal conflict, they toiled tirelessly. Days bled into nights as they analyzed data, conducted simulations, and fine-tuned the Scepter's energy flow. Sleep deprivation took its toll, tempers flared, and arguments erupted. Yet, the gravity of the situation kept them pushing forward. Meanwhile, a glimmer of hope emerged. A cryptic message arrived, a whistleblower from within Anya Petrova's organization. The message contained a set of coordinates and a single word, prototype. Intrigued, Alex and Isabella presented the information to Dr. Walsh. Anya was building a weaponized Scepter prototype, a confirmation of their worst fears. The coordinates pointed to a hidden facility, a chance to strike back and disarm Anya before she could unleash her destructive creation. Dr. Walsh, resolute in her purpose, argues for a preemptive raid on Anya's facility. Alex, conflicted about the morality, hesitates. Isabella, torn between protecting their creation and the potential danger of a raid, suggests a reconnaissance mission first. The team stands at a crossroads. Will they launch a desperate counter-offensive against Anya, or will they prioritize safety and refine their technology further? Episode 22, Duality. The air crackled with tension as Alex, Isabella, and Dr. Walsh debated their next move. Dr. Walsh, her eyes blazing with a newfound determination, pressed for a raid. We can't afford to wait any longer. Every second Anya has that prototype is a threat to the world. Alex, however, remained unconvinced. A frontal attack is reckless. We don't know what we're walking into. Isabella, ever the strategist, offered a compromise, a recon mission. We scope out the facility, gather intel on the prototype, and formulate a more nuanced plan. Dr. Walsh reluctantly agreed. Time was of the essence, but a reckless attack could have disastrous consequences. A recon mission, while risky, offered a chance to gather crucial information. Disguised in stolen Petrova Industries uniforms, Alex, Isabella, and a small team of Dr. Walsh's most trusted security personnel steal onto Anya's heavily guarded compound. Using a combination of stealth and cunning, they navigate laser grids, bypass security checkpoints, and dodge patrolling guards. Inside the facility, the air vibrated with a thrumming energy, a testament to Anya's rapid progress. Through strategically placed cameras, they witnessed the horrifying reality, a monstrous Scepter prototype, crackling with unstable energy, housed within a reinforced chamber. Anya herself, clad in a sleek black bodysuit and a steely glint in her eye, addressed a team of scientists, her voice echoing through the vast chamber. This prototype will be the key to global dominance. Petrova Industries will usher in a new era. The weight of Anya's words settled heavily on the team. The prototype was far more advanced than they had anticipated, a fully weaponized monstrosity capable of unimaginable destruction. Suddenly, an alarm blares, red lights flashing. Their cover is blown. Anya's security forces swarm, forcing the team into a desperate fight for survival. A cornered Alex activates the scepter he brought for self-defense, its controlled energy beam pushing back the attackers. Isabella, separated from the group, finds herself face-to-face with Anya, a chilling smile playing on the CEO's lips. Will they escape with their lives, or will they be captured and their technology fall into the wrong hands? Episode 23, Fractured Loyalties. The deafening roar of gunfire filled the air, punctuated by the whine of the Scepter's energy beam as Alex fended off Anya's security forces. Isabella, trapped in a separate corridor, found herself face-to-face with Anya, the CEO's smile laced with a hint of amusement. Well, Anya purred, her voice devoid of warmth. Looks like our little mice found their way into the cheese shop. Isabella, adrenaline coursing through her veins, squared her shoulders. Game over, Anya. We know about your weaponized prototype. Anya's smile faltered for a fleeting moment, replaced by a flicker of annoyance. Such a shame, she sighed, but it seems some collateral damage is inevitable. Before Isabella could react, Anya activated a hidden device on her wrist. A piercing shriek filled the air as a security lockdown initiated, sealing off the entire facility. Isabella was trapped. Meanwhile, Alex, his energy reserves dwindling, found himself surrounded. Just as Anya's guards prepared to subdue him, a figure emerged from the smoke, one of the security personnel who had joined their mission. "Go," he rasped, his voice laced with urgency. Tell them what you saw." With a look of gratitude and a heavy heart, Alex blasted a hole in the wall with the scepter, creating an escape route. He didn't look back as he raced through the burning facility, the image of his fallen comrades seared into his memory. Dr. Walsh's research lab, a scene of frantic activity. Alex, battered and bruised, recounted his harrowing escape. The news of the security lockdown and the sacrifice of their comrade hung heavy in the air. "We can't break in," Dr. Walsh lamented, her voice heavy with despair. "The facility's on complete lockdown. They'll be expecting any attempt at a rescue." Isabella, silent until now, a steely glint in her eyes, stepped forward. "We don't need to break in, we need to break them out." Her plan was audacious, a desperate gambit fueled by grief and a flicker of hope. Using their stolen uniforms and the intel gathered during the recon mission, they would infiltrate the Petrova Industries headquarters, a skyscraper overlooking the city. Their objective: hack into Anya's central control system and disable the lockdown on the hidden facility. Alex, disguised as a Petrova technician, navigating restricted access corridors. Isabella, using her hacking skills, wrestles with Anya's complex security protocols. Dr. Walsh, back at the lab, monitors their progress, her heart pounding in her chest. Will they succeed in their daring infiltration? Will they free their comrades and prevent Anya from unleashing her weaponized scepter prototype? The fate of the technology and the world hangs in the balance. Episode 24, Full Circle. Alex, disguised as a Petrova technician, navigates the sterile corridors of Anya Petrova's headquarters. His heart pounds in his chest, every click of his boots echoing in the vast emptiness. He reaches his target, the central control room, a fortress of blinking consoles and security checkpoints. Meanwhile, back at the research lab, Dr. Walsh anxiously monitors a series of feeds. One screen displays a live image of Alex, another shows Isabella hunched over a stolen Petrova laptop, her fingers flying across the keyboard. "Almost there," Isabella mutters, sweat beading on her forehead. The firewall protecting Anya's central system is formidable, but Isabella, fueled by determination and a thirst for justice, pushes through. Suddenly, an alarm blares on Alex's screen. He's been spotted. Guards materialize in the corridor, their faces grim. Thinking fast, Alex activates the scepter he's concealed beneath his uniform jacket. A controlled burst of energy disarms the guards, but it also throws his disguise off. A chase ensues. Alex, adrenaline coursing through his veins, sprints through the labyrinthine corridors of the headquarters, dodging security personnel and laser beams. The control room remains his only hope. Back in the lab, Dr. Walsh watches in horror as Alex is cornered by a group of heavily armed guards. Just as they close in, a loud, electronic crackle fills the air. Isabella, with a triumphant grin, slams her laptop shut. "I'm in," she shouts. With a few swift keystrokes, Isabella remotely unlocks the control room doors, allowing Alex a narrow window of opportunity. He bursts through the entrance, dodging a hail of gunfire. Sweat dripping into his eyes, he locates the control panel for the hidden facility. This is Alex Santos. He barks into a hidden microphone, his voice raspy. "Disengage lockdown on Facility X, authorization code Omega." A tense silence follows. Then, a robotic voice announces, "Authorization code verified." Lockdown on Facility X disengaged. Relief washes over the team, a bittersweet victory. They've disabled the lockdown, but Alex remains trapped deep within Anya's headquarters, surrounded by armed guards. Anya herself strides into the control room, her face contorted with rage. "So," she hisses, her eyes locked on Alex, "you finally decided to show your true colors." Alex stands his ground, the scepter crackling with a controlled energy, his resolve hardening. Anya, her weaponized prototype within reach, smiles a chilling smile. "This isn't over, Santos. This is just the beginning."